Hey guys, it's your local Jerry, and this is the new start screen for the 2019 update for Jikkyou Powerful Pro Yakyuu. Alright, so I wanted to do a translation video for the main menu, just for any newcomers and anybody who just wants to get a handle of the game. There's other translation videos out on YouTube, which I highly recommend. I'll link some of them in the description. But this one I just kind of want to go an overview of the new game modes and just trying to get an idea of how everything works, just so you kind of have a foundation on the structure of how the game works. So just starting out, you're going to be notified with this live pop-up, and you're basically they're asking whether you want to be updated with the live contents like rosters, items, teams, things of that sort. I'll explain it when we get to each game mode panel. And just to keep in the back of your mind, the one that's highlighted right now is always going to be no, and then you're gonna have to, in order to accept, yes or agree is always on the left hand side. Also, it should be noted that when you're playing this game, that X is actually the back button on the PlayStation controller, and the circle is actually yes, so it's kind of inverted compared to American games, or Western games. Alright, so after you select yes for going live or selecting the live menu, you're going to be hit with this loading screen and then just content terms and conditions, just agreeing. And then once again, you want to go to the left, which the original one is a no, disagreeing. So you want to go to the left and agree with that. And then after you select that, then you're going to be hit with a just kind of an update patch notes in terms of current maintenance and server status. Usually it gives you the latest time that they've updated, which, as it says right here, it's May 2nd, 2019. See, that's pretty helpful. If maybe something's down, you can maybe translate this in the future. But for the most part, it's just giving you kind of a heads up, or a good to go. Alright, so as you make your way back to the main menu, I just want to go over the outskirt and outer surrounding text, just so you know. Usually it doesn't change, and it's just pretty helpful to know for future reference. So on the top left, you just have the newest version, which is the Jikkyou Powerful Pro 2019 player version. That's what it says in Japanese. And then in the top middle, that's just your presents or rewards that Konami gives you, and you can use these rewards for festival mode. I've used them in festival mode, and then other modes as well. Usually a lot of the modes you can use these gifts or presents, and they vary depending on the day or the week. Alright, so in the top right you just have live information. So that's basically just newest news and updates and things of that sort. Alright, so this first top left panel is just the basic one. It's just the versus mode. And it's just whether you want to play against the computer, which is considered alone, or if you want to play with 2 players or VR, or even director mode. There's a bunch of different modes to play with this. This is basically just exhibition. I might be able to make a translation in the future for it, because this is a great bare bones mode to just kind of understand how everything works, the quintessentials. Alright, so moving below, we have one of the newest modes to the game, which is Koshien Mode, and this came with the newest 2019 update. And this mode is basically training a team as a high school coach who has appeared in success mode. And you basically just join your favorite characters and aim for the Koshien victory, which I'm not too sure exactly what the Koshien victory is, but I'm sure one of you guys could probably explain to me. But I know it's very similar to success mode. There's also a stadium you can play against players from all around the world of the country, and you develop your team as you go along. Yeah, so moving along and just moving above, we have the live scenario, which is basically just a mode that allows you to experience real professional games that come up, which is sick. It's an awesome way to stay in tune with the Nippon Baseball League, which this is what this game's based upon. And all of the scenarios are just linked daily with actual results of the real-time games, which is super cool. You can play what they call them turning points, and they're just divided by victory and defeat, and that's just if you completed a certain amount of objectives within that scenario to actually complete it. And then on top of that, they have a ranking system that's available. So the scores are calculated after you finish these scenarios, and then you can actually compete with other people and their scores, which is pretty sick. It's awesome. I feel like it's, if you ever played Madden Moments or 2K where they had the thing with Michael Jordan, it's similar to that, but it's a new level, which you can compare your high scores with other people, which definitely can get very competitive. All right, so moving back down, we have the one of my favorite modes, and it's a very popular mode, is the Power Festival mode. This is a very unique mode. This is like definitely one of the modes that made me buy this game because it's different from any other type of game. It's like MUT Champions. It's like an ultimate team with like a tournament mode with like items and stuff. It's crazy. And basically, this mode is just like you're on the sea, you're in like this cruise ship, and you're basically playing like certain players. You play up to 5 different like bosses or like characters, and you can unlock them once you beat them. It's kind of like Mario. There's over 200 characters, and they're adding new ones, especially with the newest update. But yeah, it's an awesome way to play. I definitely recommend it. And I'll probably be making a translation video for this as well in the future. Definitely more in depth, but yeah. Alright, so moving on and just moving above, we have also one of the more popular game modes, and this is Pennant Mode. So for anyone that plays any sports games, this is like franchise or season mode, except it's on steroids. This game mode is absolutely insane. I played this with MLB Power Pros originally, and the amount of freedom and like flexibility you have in terms of making decisions is insane. So just to give you the rundown, you're handling all of your team's funds all the way down to like the nickel and like all different categories. You're strengthening your team. You're working on your team schedule, like who you want to play, your development and your growth. You're picking like how you want to develop your players, and what attributes you want to grow them in. There's also the World Series of Baseball that you have like every 4 years, so you play in that as well, and you're just like competing, and it's just absolutely crazy. All the type of freedom that you have with this game mode, and it's definitely a blast. All right, now moving on to one of my favorite modes of this game, and it's called Championship Mode. This mode's like Foot or MUT Champions, if you're familiar with those, and it's basically just competing with other people in like tournaments. Everything's tournament based, and it's super cool. So basically, you create an account, you create a person, you pick a team, and you start competing in tournaments. Now, these tournaments have certain requirements, and everything has a transaction with credits. You earn credits basically through winning or like tying games, and I'm not sure if you can lose credits through losing, but I don't think you can. So yeah, you use these credits and you can join certain tournaments. Now there's tournaments with higher prestige and lower prestige. They have entry tournaments, which you'll probably join, and then you can move your way up, which is super cool. It's definitely an adrenaline rush when you get going. I went like 3-1 once, and then they started putting me with good competition, so I got obliterated. But it was definitely like super cool to play with, and I definitely was looking forward to this with the new 2019 update. So basically, definitely check out this game mode once you're more competent with the base game, because it can definitely be kind of intimidating. But yeah. So quickly going over this small panel, it's not in particular game mode, but it's just kind of like a notification for like new items that kind of come into the game. There was definitely a new influx of items with the newer update, and I haven't got a chance to kind of look at all of them yet. But for this particular one, this one was just named "Get the Genius Report," which I'm not too sure like what that meant. But yeah, it's basically, this is kind of like a news panel. So when you kind of see like this panel, you can kind of get an idea of it's like newer things that they're trying to promote or get your attention with. Alright, so moving on to the next page with another popular mode, and this mode's called My Life Mode. This is ultimately like MLB Road to the Show, where you're basically just a professional baseball player and you're just enjoying the life of being a player. So you're working on development, talking, building a relationship with your teammates, your coaches, things of that sort. It's super freaking cool. They do a great attention to detail with that, in terms of like all of the little things that you can do to develop your player and trying to make a name for yourself. Another cool fact is you can actually be a Japan representative in like the World Series of Baseball, the international tournament, and that's pretty sick to like work towards as well. So yeah, I mean this game mode is very cool if you want like a very personalized experience. You just want to work on like your player, make your favorite player and just try to make a name for yourself and make history. So this game mode is definitely cool. Alright, so moving on to this next mode, it's easily one of the most unique modes I've ever heard of in a sports game, and it's called Glory 9. This game mode, you're a coach of a high school, and you're just training all of your players. Your players are coming in and out, graduating, kind of similar to college, and you're just trying to train them and win the Koshien tournament. On top of that, you're trying to make a prestigious ball club and try to boost up your school's reputation as well. And you're just training all of your students. They're changing year after year, so you have to stay on top of them. You basically have to just follow their path, and you're working to just develop them to try to be the best they can be, so you can win a lot of games. They added an online tournament as well that's now appearing, and you can compete with other like high schools and players across the country, which is sick. All right, so moving right below the Crown 9 mode, we have Success Mode. And this mode is practically identical to Crown 9 mode, but I believe Crown 9 mode is a 3-year program. So you're working on your players as a coach, and you're trying to win the Koshien, and you're trying to build your school within 3 years. For Success Mode, I believe it's more like story oriented, whereas you actually create your own player. So you're not a coach, you're a player, and you're kind of like the protagonist in like this story kind of sense, where you kind of make your own decisions. And the scenario is the same. It's still high school, and you're still aiming to win the Koshien tournament. But it kind of lets you enjoy like the characters and kind of the story that like Konami wants to present with like their like plot lines and stories and things of that sort. I haven't got a chance to play this game mode, but I definitely look forward to playing it in the future after I play the other modes. But yeah. Alright, so similar to the item panel that I spoke about a couple minutes ago, this item panel is the actual Power Pro Shop. So this Power Pro Shop, you exchange these so-called power points that you earn through like games and just completing things throughout like all the game modes, and you can use them to exchange for like certain items that you want. In addition to like these items you can buy, you can also exchange them for OB players and like success players. So I don't know too much of what that entails, but I definitely know that that capability is there, which is super cool. And just proves that like Konami's trying to intermingle all these certain things. It's pretty sick. So yeah. Alright, so moving to this next feature, we have the new ball type development. So this is absolutely crazy. You can literally set your speed and your bending direction of like your own pitch. So you're developing your like new kind of ball, and on top of that, you can like use this in like success events, Pennant or like My Life spring camps, and it's absolutely crazy. So the amount of like freedom and capability you can do with like creating your own pitch is absolutely insane. Alright, so when I learned about this feature, I was super excited. This feature is called Live Power Pro, and this is just essentially a tool that allows you to interact with your friends or other players, and you're basically just sharing players and teams that you guys have created. On top of that, you can use these created players and teams and play with them, and if you want to do a simple exhibition match, or if you even want to go as far as entering it into a pennant league, that capability is there, which is super cool. It has like a search engine that allows you to look up teams and players that you want, and then you can arrange those players and teams however you like. Alright, so just to take note, all of these second page features are kind of all revolve around customization, creation, all things like that, like the extras. Moving on to this next one, it's basically record and achievements. So this ties in all of your achievements that you've played in the game. I don't think this corresponds with your PS4 trophies for this particular game, but this feature just allows you to basically tie in all the current progress and the achievements you've done inside the game. And I believe it's they score it as well, and you can compare it with your friends and other people, which definitely makes it more competitive and fun to play and get stuff done. Alright, so this next smaller option underneath record and achievements is based practically a survey. The description text for it just says, please cooperate in our questionnaire. So I guess this is for Konami on their end. Just get some feedback from the users and everyone that's playing. So yeah, you probably don't have to worry about this too much unless you have an opinion or suggestion for them. This is where you would go. Alright, so moving our way to the back end of the main menu, we have practice mode in the top right, and I highly recommend this mode for anyone that's new to the game or trying to get used to the mechanics. I especially use this mode with batting. I try to use it and try to get used to certain kind of pitches and things of that sort. But with this game mode, you can master just the basics of hitting, throwing, defensive practice. Work on like your cursor speed with hitting, throwing and fielding, all that stuff. And then once you get used to that, then you'll be challenged with certain scenarios, and they even allow you to pick certain pitches. So if you're struggling with a pitch, you come here. If you're struggling with a certain scenario in the field, you come here. So there's a lot of different options, and it's super helpful, so I highly recommend it. Alright, so moving right below practice mode, we have edit player or player data. And this mode is just a bare bones option just to allow you to change any of the professional baseball players, such as like their name, their face, their profile number, even like their match voice. And then they also have like a data exchange option, which you can just you can like move the original player from that body to like the newer body, so you can save the older version just as like for safety precautions. So this mode definitely allows you to do a lot of things, which is sick. Alright, so moving below Edit Player, we have a feature that's very similar to it, and it's Create a Team. So this option allows you to arrange your favorite players and coaches and, organize your own roster. You can even specify a coach or pitcher you want to stand in like the broadcasting box, I guess, when they're announcing it, which is pretty cool. And then to tie in with the live team or the Power Pro Live feature, you can use that to, upload this team with other players like online, and you can even play with this team in battle, pennant, or like even championship mode. So this mode is definitely cool and ties in all the other features as well. Alright, so last but not least, we have the final feature on the main menu, and this is settings or all data. And this allows you to set options and rules for the game, and you can create your own settings, which is called My Settings, and you'll have like a personal profile that you can attach to all modes, which definitely makes playing a lot easier because you don't have to spend time trying to customize particular games. You can just use your My Settings, which is super helpful and convenient. So I highly recommend you take a look at this as well. Hey guys, so that's going to do it for the main menu of Jikkyou Powerful Pro Yakyuu 2019 or 18. If you have any questions or any comments, just leave them in the comments below. I appreciate it. Yeah, so it's going to do it for this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.